Yo, what's good? What's up? How is everybody doing? I just want to check the stream, make sure it's live, and we'll get on to what we have for today. So, so, all right. So I think this is working. I'll just close this tab, make sure that we don't have any feedback. All right. So I think this is working. I'll just close this tab, make sure that we don't have any feedback. All right. So I think this is working. I'll just close this tab, make sure that we don't have any feedback. All right. So I think this is working. I'll just close this tab, make sure that we don't have any feedback. What is going on? Then all of a sudden, like I can't browse properly. This is strange, but yeah. So I think I'm back. I think it's now working, but it's not working as fast though. I think the true test of speed would be right here. This looks like around 5, 6, 7 MB per second, which is okay to work with. But without further ado, I want to get on with today's modeling. I missed the window yesterday for streaming, and yeah, what happened? I was having issues with my internet. I couldn't get on. That was basically what happened. So in how I'm going to compensate for that is I'll start one stream, get it on to where I need to be, and then I'll move on to another stream within the same time. So yeah, let me just go on and fill you in with what we are going to be modeling for today. For today, we have a table fan and we have fence segments, right? For the table fan, I already have some references that we're gonna go through, and for the fence segment, I have some references too. I'm going to start with the table fan because I feel like I should get through the hard one. So the moment I switch streams or change stream to the next one, I'm doing something more relaxed and chilled and not something so difficult. So yeah, let's go. I don't know if I'm going to model in this or this. I probably want to start with this one first. All right. So first thing I want to do is I think this amount of slides or whatever, like this guardrail, I want to count how many it is. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So altogether, the round circumference has Jesus. That's for the sixth segment. I thought I forgot just now. That would have been wild. So yeah, let's go. I'm going to I'm going to clear out the scene first. I'm going to bring in a cube, lift it up to the surface, and then I'm going to bring in a human reference. Yep. So we have this. I'm going to bring this to, bring the cursor to this point, and I'm going to carry the selected to that point. So we can bring this to the side just like so. So my expectation is the fan could be around the size right here. Yeah, should be around the size, like the size of a shoe, but taller if it's opened up. So I'm going to shift the X, move that out of the way, and I'm going to start with the base, right? For the base, I'm going to GZ, bring that to the surface, and I'm going to scale that all the way down. So I can SZ, just like so. And yeah, I can scale and scale on the Z, just like so. S Shift Z, right? So this is cool. I can frame to selected, and then it looks like there's something going on in here that looks quite different. I've not seen anything like this before, so I'm just going to kind of replicate what I see. First of all, I think there's an insert right here, and this is extruded inward basically, right? This is extruded inward, and then right here I can S Shift Z. Let's bring this in a little bit. Something else I want to account for is this shape in here. I think this is some kind of a cube. Then it has a bevel. It has a bevel by the edge. So I'm going to start with a cube. I'm going to scale it down first. Right. I'm going to scale it on the Z. Then right here I can GZ. Well, let me clear that up. Let me bring in a cube first. Cube, GZ, bring this to the surface. Scale that down. SY, GY, S Shift Z. Delete these faces. Think it looks something like this actually. But I need to, okay. So this doesn't go all the way to the back. I'm going to stop it around here. And I'm going to delete this faces, right? For this edge, I can SX, oh, no, SY0. And right here, I can EY, bring this up to around this point. Then I can connect this F. Right, then right here, I can fill. Right here, I can fill. So that's looking good. I'm going to select, oh, I'm going to try to bring this to surface, just make it look right. So when we're beveling this edge, it actually works just fine. And don't mind all of this extrusion. After the whole constructing everything, I would use a boolean to knock all of this out so it doesn't show in the render at all. So let's just go. I'm going to apply scale first. Let me look at this. Looking at this again now, I feel like this goes all the way. This right here, it goes all the way. So what I'm going to do is, let me isolate this first, and then in front view I can just cut this up just like so. Cut this and then cut this. Easy. I can select this, dissolve those edges right here. I can also dissolve this edge, but this face I can GZ. Can delete this face, and let me delete that face also. So delete this face, and I can refill this, but I want to select this edge and bring it flush with this right here. So we can go something like this. Fill, fill, fill. Dissolve edge. This is supposed to be like a really simple part to model, but it's taking a weird amount of time. So yeah, I think we got it. I can just bevel this, but for some weird reason that part isn't beveling. I can do that again. Delete edge. Delete edge. Isolate. Wow. You know what? I'm just going to start this from scratch, because that's already giving me a lot of problem. GZ. GZ. Wow. To the surface. Scale all the way down. Frame selected. SZ. S Shift Z. And I can GY this just like so. S Shift Z. SZ. And I think this is a good amount right here. I will apply that scale, and right here I can just add a bevel right here. It stops around the side. Right here I'll delete those faces and then this face, and then I'll just make this connect with this with F, and right here I can fill. So I already applied this scale. I'm going to come right here, select this edge. I want to lift this above the surface a little bit. GZ. So right here, I can bevel. Right. So we have that. There's some kind of an insert right here. So I'll select this. It goes in a little and it extrudes along normals. So that's it about this part. And I think this part, it's like a cylinder that just goes up top. So I'm going to select this GZ. scale all the way down, view frame selected. I can scale this and SZ all the way to the top. So that's that about that. I can shade this smooth, and then I also see that there's another cylinder that explain the kind of mechanism it has. So I am going to add that cylinder to it with RY90, scale that all the way down. And SX. GZ. So I can S Shift Z, bring this up to the surface, and right here I can shade small and GY back into position. So for this area right here, I want to bevel that, but it's going to be like a vertex bevel. So I'll select this, and as a matter of fact, I think there are edges there. So okay, no, there are no edges. Are this going to be weird to do the vertex bevel? It's going to be weird. I'm going to select all and then merge by distance. So the reason I'm doing that is because I noticed a weird line around here. You see this weird line? That's because two vertices are at an exact same point. So it creates that friction between them, and just we have that line in the middle. So what I'm just going to do is you're going to merge by the distance because they're at the exact same distance. So you just cancel each other out, basically. So right here, I can select this, and then select this, and I can just bevel slightly. And bevel slightly. Right here, I can shade auto smooth, and then I want to select this edge, duplicate that, separate, and right here I can extrude along the normals. And the reason I'm doing this is to intersect with the other mesh. So it just cancels that one and leave the one inside. So I can select this, and then I'll go to the boolean and do an intersect boolean. Yeah. So we have an intersect boolean. I can come here. I see that I can still see some of the mesh outside. So I can S and just scale this boolean so it's contained in that space. And this object right here, I'll apply that boolean and delete that cutter basically. So we have a nice model right here. And next I'm going to model is the top. So the top is a basic cylinder, but remember the count that we did earlier. We did 46 sides basically. So I'm going to select this top, bring the cursor to that top. I'm going to bring in a cylinder, and I'm going to RX90. So from here I can scale down, then view. I'm going to frame to that selected, scale down GZ, and I can SX or SY rather. S Shift Y. But I just remember something now. I didn't bring in or change this vertex to 46. So I'm going to do that. And then RX90. I'm going to select both, and then I'm going to copy scale. I'm going to copy location too. And yeah, We have these two at the exact same position, so I can select the other one and just delete that. I don't know how many. Let me see how many vertices are here. 46. So this is the correct one. So what I'm going to do first is try to figure out this guard railing, basically. So I think the first thing is select this front and insert. Let's just insert all the way to the end, close to the end right here. And then we can add loops all the way through. Right, and this face here, I can come to the front and then O, and then I can rotate this. Right, but I don't want this other part to rotate, so I can select more, inverse that and hide, and then let's do that rotation again in front view, just like so. Then I can unhide. Still. I'm going to unhide this and then make that rotation again. But I don't want to make it too harsh to where the vertex at the edge is affected. So I'm going to rotate, not too far from each other. And we have that. And I think this is not a bad result. In order to correct this, I think I'll just rotate this just a smidge without proportion editing. Rotate into position. All right, so we're good. Next I'm going to do is make sure all of these are isolated, and I would convert that to a curve. So it's from the curve I'm going to form that geometry, basically. So all of this, I think it goes all the way to the back. Yeah, it goes all the way to the back. So I want to mirror this to the other side. Mirror. And I think we have it all the way to the back now. So I can select all this. Is there where I can shift G and just select something that has similar properties, so I don't have to go all the way around. So it looks like I'm about to go all the way around. So yeah, let's do it. Okay. All right. Sweet. I am going to, first of all, isolate this part, separate, and then I'm going to cover that to a curve. And then this, let me just hide for a second. So what I'm going to do now is apply scale first. In the geometry, I'm going to add depth to that geometry first, and then I want to extrude it also. Shade smooth. I want to extrude just a smidge. So this is looking like it. This is looking like the fun. So I'm going to start adding all of this edges and this logo part right here. In order to do that, I'm going to call back our original or initial cylinder rather, and I can SY scale this into position right here. I can put this right here. Then I can select this two, Shift D. I have that, and we're just going to, I think I don't need this front facing part. I can just select all, extrude this, and then right here I can add a loop, select this, and then extrude this outward. Before I go any further too much, I want to add some edge loops. I really need to stop adding edge loops like this because it is such a destructive method. I really need to stop. So we have that. I'm going to add, is this something similar to the back? Yeah, I'm going to add something similar to the back. But no, it's a little different. So I'm going to call back our initial mesh and mesh rather. I can duplicate this, isolate this, hide this, come to the side, select all, scale that down, GY, and then extrude. So we have that. I can scale all and GY into position just like so, just to add a little more pizzazz to it. I can do this, and I'm not going to add a destructive bevel. I'm going to add a bevel modifier, and then we're going to use a subdivision on that. Something I didn't capture is the blades inside, so I can't really see what it looks like. What I'm going to do is just kind of deduce what from what I see. I'm going to bring the cylinder first, and then I'm seeing 3 blades there, but I want to multiply that by, I want to multiply that by 10. Let's see how many sides and how that works. RX90. I can scale these all the way down just like so. Let me just quickly check the stream if I'm still up. All right, so we're good. All right. So for the blades, we have 3 blades. I can scale this, just scale this a little bit on this side. And then think on 3 sides, I just want to select this, select this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Select this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Select this. So I think we have an evenly distributed amount of faces that we have selected. I'm going to insert, and then I'm going to extrude along normals, just like so. So that's cool. Let me see it in the context of the fan. All right, that's okay. We need to take this further though. I can SY, add some loops. We have 9. Add some loops, 9, then add some loops. I need 9. So that's cool. Right here, I want to rotate these blades basically. So I'm going to come back to the front just like so. With my proportional editing selected, I'm going to rotate. But you see that it's affecting the center part of this, which I do not want it to affect. So I'm going to select all of these blades and then select more, right? Inverse, and then I can hide this. So let's do that operation again. We don't want it to go far like as much. As a matter of fact, I want to scale. Let's just rotate. That's one. That's two. And that's three. So we have this. Doesn't look as good. So I want to do that rotation again. This is the first one right here. Can rotate. That's one. Then I'm going to rotate this also. And then I'm going to rotate this right here. Okay, I think this is a better result. So right here, I'm going to select these faces or these edges rather. Looks like we have an extra edge here. Does that apply to this too? No. So I can dissolve this edge. Let me check this if I have an extra edge here. No. So this, I want to dissolve this edge. Let me see what the result is going to look like. Dissolve this. Okay, that's cool. I think I can dissolve that and everything will be fine. Dissolve edge. So what I want to do is select this right here and this and just bevel that, just create some kind of something aerodynamic that makes this look like it works. Bevel right here. And then on this part, we have a smaller bevel. It looks like it's going to rain, which is going to make for a beautiful night rest. So right here, I'm going to apply bevel modifier. Just something really soft. And voila. We have that. I'm going to bring back all the other mesh. I'm going to bring in a cylinder RX90, scale that down, GY. So this is cool. I can apply that scale first of all. And then, onto insets. And then I want to extrude this inward, just like so. I said it felt like it was going to rain. But we're going to keep streaming. I think I'm good for maybe another hour plus. I'm going to separate this from the entire thing And right here, I can insert up onto this point and I'm good. This is giving some artifact because it's on the exact same spot as the other mesh. So I'm going to GY out of that place and then add in some edge loops. Right here is good. I can now I want to GY, but it's just bringing out this face. But what I want to use is try to utilize proportional editing so that it doesn't just affect only the face, it affects all of the surrounding vertices also. So I'm going to click on proportional editing and I'm going to GY just like so. Looks good to me. GY into position, shade that smooth, add a bevel to this, just a soft bevel, and then shade that smooth. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I won't lie, that looks pretty good. Um, right here, I want to bring this face forward. So something I noticed is the base. There are some controls down here that wasn't captured. So I just wanted to capture a few things, just make it look like okay, it's an indication of something or of some sort rather. So right here, I'm going to select this and I can add an edge loop to it. So what I want to do is so what I want to do is I probably want to insert, but I feel like I should use a boolean. It's been I miss using boolean, man. Like there's the time I did a lot of hard surface stuff and I just used a ton of boolean on those stuffs. So right here I already have a boolean selected and I'm going to just select the segments that I want to have that button. I'll just extrude that inward, but not this much. I want to do that again. I don't want the wedge. So is there where I can switch off the wedge? Let's see. Turn off the wedge. That's cool. So I'm going to recall this bevel and just, or this boolean and just scale it, move it into position. And I feel like I need another one on this side also. So I can just create a second one and GY. I can select all, then scale at individual origins slightly. So yeah, this is good. This is good. What I want to do next is GZ, and while we have this in the cutter, I want to make this a whole different mesh of its own. So I can select this and then move it out of the cutter because right now it's going to be in the cutter and it won't make any sense to it won't even be able to be worked with easily. Why is this looking like this? This is not supposed to look like this at all. SY, SY, SX. Delete face. Fill. Fill. So right here, I'm going to scale down individual origin. Okay, this take away our boolean. So I'm going to go back all the way to when I made that boolean solidified. Right here. So what I'm meant to do is duplicate this, then make that a solid shape. Right, I can select that solid shape now. Oh, something is wrong. Can I move this out of the collection? Select or scale down. Perfect. Perfect. So this is good. I can SZ just like so. I feel like both of this, they just need to SY. Needs to be smaller. I can select our button and apply scale, give that a slight bevel. Okay. So we have that. I think all of this boolean, I just want to just apply them. So I'm going to come on here, apply this boolean. I can I remove that cutter? Okay, yeah, I can remove that cutter and everything is fine. Another button I might want to capture is this power button right here. So I'm going to use a cutter again, right? But this time it's going to be a circular cutter. And we're just going to do that again. I'm going to put that right here. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to bring back that boolean scale just like so. And then with this, I could duplicate, right? Figure out which one is the cutter. I'm going to turn off my video right now because I want to see what's going on behind me. So this video is going to be turned off. Okay. So I'm still with you guys. I'm going to select this right here, and then I'm going to make that solid shape. I'm going to make this instead a solid shape. So I can select that, scale that down, scale it on the Z, and I can just GC just like so. And then this is going to be some kind of a power button, basically. So I can apply scale, and then yeah, I'm probably going to use the bevel modifier. So that's cool. Again, I want to apply that subdivision. Probably clear all the cutters. Oh no. So this looks good to me. The only thing I want to figure out is this face right here. This face looks a mess. So I want to clear all of that out. And then this, I want to clear all of that face out. So what I want to do now is select this edge all the way through, select this edge all the way through, and then scale on the X. I'm just going to bring everything closer. I'm going to use bounding box SX, and then this I'm going to fill, this I'm going to fill. So I think I'm pretty much done with this. I'm going to move this to the side right here. Select all of it and GX. Right. The next one we're going to modeling for the fan is not this one. Oh, I'm really tempted to model this, bro. I'm really tempted to model this. You know what? Let's model this. This might be longer than an hour stream. So that's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm going to bring in a cylinder first. GZ to the surface. I'm going to scale that down. Right here, I'm going to select this and SC, Shift Z, just like so. Then SZ again. What I want to do is on the side, I want to use what should I call it? Hard ups to create a cutter, but not this kind of cutter. I want to use a square cutter, right? And I'm just going to draw a box right here. So we have that. I'm going to go in now and then call back that cutter. What I want to do is GY, bring this out a little bit more, GZ, and then this edge right here, I want to bevel that, because if you look closely, you see that there's a ramp behind this part like this. So I'm going to select that and just create that ramp, just like so. I think I'm pretty much done with the shape. I'm just going to apply that boolean and I can take out that cutter easily. Next thing I'm going to do is measure by distance. There's something going on here that is just not working. So I feel like, I think same thing that I did with, I've forgotten what I was modeling when I did the same thing. But I want to just merge this at last. Then I don't think this edges right here are needed. I can select this edge, remove this, select this, and remove. So we have something that looks very, very much low poly. I'm going to merge by distance again, and there seems to be a disconnect somewhere here. So how do I solve this? I'm going to chill on that for a little bit and maybe just bring in a bevel. Add a subdivision and let's see how that's working. I want to mirror this to the other side. So that looks good. I won't lie, that looks good. I'm going to apply that subdivision, or bevel first and then subdivision last. Oh, this looks weird. This looks really bad actually. This entire face right here. I want to delete this entire face and just make it flat. And then it's just flat. That's cool. So same is going to apply to this. I want to just make the entire thing flat. It's that deep and it's also not that deep because I feel like this could just be problematic later on in the modeling. So I'm going to select, go back a little bit, select this, select all of this, select delete face. Right here, I can select that loop and fill. We have that. Next, I'm going to bring in a cylinder first, right? And I can rotate it on the x-axis by 90, scale that down, frame into selected, and I can SY just like so. So what I'm trying to do is this loop right here that holds the fan looks like it's something like this. I feel like deleting all of these things is obstructing me. SY. I can G, bring it up to the spot, maybe make it bigger, GZ, and then it's bent forward a little bit, just like so. It's bent forward like so. So this is the attachment it has with the base. However, it is without this face and this face, right? So I'm just going to go to the top right here, select this edge, and I'm going to select more and delete all of that vertex, right? So we have this holder right here. Right? I'm going to apply that scale, come on here, bring this down a little bit, and onto SXXYY. G, bring this in. I still want to adjust this till I get it looking the way it should. So this comes here, this adjusts to this side. This is cool. And yeah, I think this is good enough. So what I can do is duplicate this and then move this into some kind of a dump folder so I can recall it when I need to build the main thing. This is going to be, it's going to be like a cutter. I'm going to use this as a boolean first. So I'm going to extrude this along the normal, just like so. And yeah, we have this. And I'm going to bring in a bevel first. Add, let me see how that hooks. Oh, this is a little bit different though. This place looks blobby than the inside. So I want to go back to the original one before I created that dump folder and just try to get this looking the way it should. I can Alt S this and just bring this outward, make it circular, a smidge, just a smidge. And I think like this is okay for me. So I'm now going to duplicate this and move this into a dump. I'm going to turn this all off. And then with this, I can apply subdivision, shade that smooth. I'm going to apply that subdivision, extrude along normals just like so. But I'll apply the scale, extrude along normals again. Let me try solidify. I don't know why that is not working properly. So I'm going to try solidify. Oh, how do I fix this now? You know what? I can easy bring it all up like this. And then right here, I can bring it in. So it's all the same size all the way through. And this is going to be the boolean for this one. This is already in the quarter, so I'm going to click on this boolean, apply that, and delete this quarter. This is already looking like a mess, like a complete mess already. So I'm going to figure out a way to clean this up by, first of all, just joining some of this. Merge at last. Merge at last. And I think I want to merge this also. I think this is pretty cool. And I actually think there are so many very close vertices here, so I'm going to resolve this one to the last, just like so. Select this, go all the way to the end right here. And oh, this is all janked up, man. Can't even bevel that. Like, just look at this. Maybe this, I'm going to merge at center. Does this bevel well? Okay, this bevels well, which is a good sign. So where is the problem of this beveling coming from? This bevel well, that's good. This bevels well, that's good. Okay, I think I figured it out. Does this part needs to be bevel? I doubt it. You see this edge right here? I want to dissolve that edge. Sorry, this edge. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to have more space to bevel this. Okay. Bevel that. Okay. Can call this back. Probably close out that dump first. Move this to the normal collection and then turn off the dump. Right. So right here, I can just bring this up a smidge. Apply subdivision to it. GY into position GZ downward. So we have this. I think the first thing to do is to just extrude this slightly. Right? Can turn this off. And then I want to bevel these edges right here. If I do that bevel, I want to see if I can flatten this loop right here. Or make it more relaxed, or I want to kind of bring it up to the surface a little bit. G. G, bring this up. Rotate from active element and want to rotate this out. Select, bevel all that. I'm going to add a bevel to this. I want to undo all of this and just figure out a different approach on how to go about this. Hmm. Okay. Can I select this edge all the way to this part, delete those vertices, and then begin to fill this one by one? Fill and fill all the way down to this part. Add a loop right here, and then I can fill this, select this, fill this, select this edge, fill this. So right here, I can duplicate to the other side. Okay, that's cool. Right here, I can bring in a 3D cursor and bring in a cylinder RX90, scale that down, RZ90. So I can scale that all the way down just like so. And I can SX, S Shift Z or Shift X, just like so. And from what this is looking like, it looks like it just naturally connects on this part. And for this, I would want this part to have some kind of a bevel, because that's the way it looks like in the reference. So this bevels like so. I think I'm gonna have to add bevels manually, but these bevels are more like edge support basically, so that when I add subdivision to this, it doesn't smooth out the wrong part. Bevel and then add subdivision. All right, looks like this part will have to go in just a smidge. This will have to like GX a smidge, and probably even connect this just to have some support on this part, J. And I think this also should have, but I'm going to create a subdivide on this side, GG, and just connect it to this J. Same applies to this, subdivide GG, and then J. So this looks kind of like looks absurd, actually. Let me see if I Alt S bring this out. It actually solves the problem. Let's try. Shade auto smooth. Okay. Can bevel this just a smidge right here. And I'm going to mirror this to the other side. Basically. No. Also mirror this to no. I'm not doing that. Apply this mirror, select this, and use this as a pivot to mirror to the other side. So I think for the head, I'm not going to model that. No. I've just spent so much time in creating that loop. I'm just going to copy the one that I've done here before. G, and I'm going to select this G and shift D X up to this point, bring this GZ into position, and then I'm going to scale from bounding box, scale G right here, scale GZ. All right, so I'm going to GY, bring this forward just like so. Something that this doesn't have is this right here. So I'm going to select this and GY, cover this entire space. I think that's the way it looks in the render. I can GY, open this up a little, select this and scale this up so it just is curved and it just makes it look like it blows cool breeze basically. I'm going to select this and just scale in a smidge, shade this smooth. I feel like right here I'm going to add an edge loop and just kind of cover this place a little more. The front looks really ugly, and that's because I feel like there's not enough negative space covering this part. Yeah. So that's cool. I'm going to add some kind of a controller down here. So it's really just going to be selecting these two. Insert it, scale it down, just like so. Turn that into a circle. Let's see, I think it's already affecting the other things. So I'm going to do it again, scale it down, turn that into a circle. Let's see if it's affecting. It's also still affecting. So I'm just going to do a straight boolean. Yeah, straight boolean. Change this into a circle. Bring this in. I'm going to call this back using an ever scroll and scale GZ SZ, and I'm going to move this to the center just like so. Right, GY. So with this I can duplicate, and then I can make this one solid basically. I can select this G, scale, and then right here I can just hide these cutters basically. But there's one of our measures in the cutter, so I'm going to move this out to another collection. Bevel. But this has some kind of a gradation to it though. It has a gradation to it. So if I want to capture that, let me see if I add this subdivision and apply. I'm going to apply bevel first, apply subdivision. This doesn't still provide enough. Let me add another subdivision. Okay, I think this is now becoming enough, but not quite there. I kind of want to do it like this, but it's smaller, way smaller than this. What I want to do is bring cursor to this point, delete that, and I'm going to bring in a cylinder with 64 sides. All right, I'm going to scale all that down and SZ. So we can call in a bevel, apply subdivision, apply bevel, apply subdivision. Let's see. Hmm, I don't think it's still working. So I want to bring in another cylinder, but this time it's going to be double this 120 times 2 rather. So it's going to be 128 sides. SZ. Select this face, bevel that. Apply scale first because the bevel isn't looking good. So this is cool. And then from this ridges right here, I can select this edge, select this, but I can't go all the way through like this. I can't. It's going to just be a lot of time. So what I want to do is select this too, invert that, and delete the rest of the faces. So with this, I can go to the top view and then rotate this from the 3D cursor, just like so. But I'm going to rotate Shift DR by 360 divided by 64. Let's see. Nope, doesn't work. Shift DR. No, this is not 64, this is 128. So it's going to be 360 divided by, whoa, what was that? Shift DR 360 divided by 124. Let's do 360 divided by 120. Is it 124, 128? I think it's 128. So this rotation is right next to this one. And that's what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm going to do that again, but this time around, I want to insert this face. No, just this part. I'm going to insert that and extrude along normals, just like so. So we have this. I can select and select boundary loops, just like so. Select these outer loops too. Right, and select this. I'm just going to bevel that just a smidge, and with that information I can now do the rotation we're trying to do. So it's going to be Shift D R, then we're going to do 360 divided by the number of sides of that cylinder we added, that's 128. So this is right next to each other, and we're just going to Shift R until it goes round and then stop at this point. So we should see it coming through right now, and it's going to stop at this exact same point. So I'm going to select all of that, and then I'm going to merge by distance because each of the sides are just shoulder to shoulder with each other. So the vertices are going to be kind of overlapping on top of each other. So once I click measure by distance, you'll see down here that we cleared over 34,000 vertices with the operation. So I'm going to shade auto smooth, and then this edge right here, I can ES, change pivot point to bounding box, ES, ES, and then I'm going to fill that. So this looks good. I think that's pretty much it for probably this one, but let me look at the list again if there's something else I can model. This is out. Let me see. There are little more details that I probably need to capture in this thing. like the top of this. Let's see. View frame to selected. Okay, this has a different joining, so I don't think I'm going to be bothered. GX. This right here, this right here, this right here. Hmm. Think I'm about to make a business decision right now. Either to go forward with it or let it slide. This is a very simple. It should be a very simple model at the very least, because at this point I don't feel like this is a very simple model like that you can just knock out so easily. Except of course it's just very simple. What you think is simple, you just begin to do it and realize, oh, okay, this feels very different. I quickly want to check the stream, see what's going on, and then continue. All right. So looks like we're getting good on the stream. Battery is dying really fast. So I want to model this. Yeah, I think I want to actually. So I'm going to go back to Blender, but the head I'm just going to repurpose stuff. So GZ up to the surface, scale that, scale it on the Z, frame to view, and then scale SZ, scale on the Z. Okay, S Shift Z. How did that look like? I think there was an extrusion or an insert in here and then an extrusion inward. Then I can kind of duplicate this. Kind of duplicate this, select that, select this, and then extrude this. GZ. I can S Shift Z. I think that's kind of going to just be the selling point of this models basically. I'm looking at creating something that's can be reused and not just something where you're getting one out of the entire pack. I want it to look like, oh, you're kind of getting value for your money. So it's just a bunch of different um variations of an exact same of a particular model, basically. Yeah. So I'm going to bring in a circle right here. So that's G Shift Z. I'm going to try to centralize this with GX. Right. S Shift Z. I can SZ, GZ, bring this all the way up. And with this, I can Shift D and then make this a solid right here. And then I'm going to change the group out of the collection, scale this down, SZ, and I'm going to apply the scale, add the bevel to that, and I think we're good with this too. Right here, I'll just apply this boolean and delete this. Again, it's not me and you guys that are going to go through creating that face again. I'm going to use what I have already. And an advantage of using that is that it kind of makes everything look like it's coming from the same collection, It's kind of different variation of the exact same thingy. So I can Shift D, bring this into position, view frame to selected, and GZ. So it looks like this is going to have some kind of a cage. So right here, I can select this and GY, cover the entire face. But I also want a little more extrusion on this. So I can Alt S to bring it out. And then I can select boundary loops and just bevel that simply. So right here, I can select this and GY into position. And this right here, I can GZ. GY. This base is too thick. Too thick. So I'm going to bring this all just flat. I'm probably also, I'm going to select this loop and then select more. And then S Shift Z. All right. So that's that about this GX. Move this part of the collection and let's see what this is looking like. This is probably kind of the same thing too. So I'm quickly going to model that. I see I already have something looking like it here. So up here, I'm going to select this face, right? And I'm going to Shift DX, move it into view right here. And then this, I want to come to the side view and see if I can rotate that to be approximately straight. I don't want it to be exactly, just approximately, something close to straight, basically. So I'm going to bring in a cylinder, GZ, up to the surface, scale this down, view, frame to selected. So I can S Shift Z and SZ, bring this down, S Shift Z. All of this, I'm going to take it up, and then this, I can insert, extrude inward. I can insert again and extrude all the way to the top. So I want to make sure this extrusion fits into this right here. So I'm going to select all and GY. Just like so. So I can select this S Shift Z, bring this down, and then this base, I want to select this edge, select more, Shift R, S Shift Z. Voila. So I think we're pretty much done with this. And yeah, I'm just going to save. I think this is I think I saw day 14, but I need to check. Day what? This is day 18. And day 18 is going to be about table fan. So yeah, that's it guys. So long. And until I see you guys in the next one, it's peace. I would quickly maybe take a water break, relax a little bit, and I will get on to tackle the second one for today. It's going to be, what was it? Oosh. It's going to be a first segment, and yeah, after that, we should be done. So catch you guys in 15-20 minutes. Peace.